Welcome to this new video. This video is regarding a DAX function, Intersect. So basically Intersect means it is an intersection of two tables that retaining duplicates also. So we will go for the details. So if we have a table A and a table B, the intersect function, what they will do, it is almost like an inner join function. It will take the rows that are common in both the tables. So what it does is returns the row intersection of two tables retaining duplicates. Actually it returns a table. So we are going to get a table as return. So we are not going to get any aggregate function or something. We are going to get a table that contains all the rows in the table expression 1 and that are also in table expression 2. So here you intersect A and B means okay, the rows that are in A that are also common in B, that will be the resultant table. So you have to understand that will be a table. So we will take an example. So we have a sales, we have a total sales, and we have some location. So we need to know the with respect to the customer, the count of the customer who are common in both the years. That means overall year as well as the last year. If you are having 5 years, the count of the customers in those 5 years as well as the count of the customer in the last year, previous year. I'm going to give the location. So location will be country, and I'll go here with the date. So full date means okay, we have one starting of 1st January till 31st December 2023. So that means okay, how many customers are there in these countries, overall customer count as well as the last year customer count, and we need to find out the common customer count in both the years. The customers were common in both the years. So for that we will use an intersect function, and mind that you will be getting a table and you need to take the count of that table. So the first table which we are going to see is we are going to take the total overall count of the customers with respect to the country. Overall count means from 1st January 2022 to 31st January 2023. So it is very simple. You can write a measure for that and we can give it as total count equals to, simply we can use calculate itself, calculate distinct count, and what count you have to get, that is you need to get the customer name count. So customer name, and you need to write the filter down, and filters will be dates between date. You need to give the calendar date and just write the starting and ending. Starting means okay, it will be minimum of calendar date, isn't it? And ending will be the maximum of calendar date. So you got the distinct count of the customers between the minimum and maximum calendar date with respect to the slicer which we are going to move here. So we will the total count here. So the total count of customers for all these Argentina is 11 from the year 11 1, I mean January 1st to December 31st. And if you move, it will change. You can see it is changing, isn't it, with respect to all the things. So now the next thing what we are going to do is that we will create a measure calculating the last year's total count. So you can achieve that by using data function. You can right click the measure last year count equals to calculate distinct count customer name, and we are going to give date at and date table, and number of intervals is -1 and the interval is year. So we got that, and we will be moving that to this table, and you can see the last year count is different from the total count. So the total count includes last year, this year, and if there is a previous year, that also will be there in the total count. And the last year only, the last year with respect to the slicer we are filtering, that will be shown as the last year. See here, if you move the slicer for Armenia, total count is 3n, but last year count is nothing, 0. So that means last year no customers came from Armenia. So now we will take an intersect of total count and last year count so that we'll be able to understand the customers who were common in both the years, the count of the customers who were common in both the years. So we will make this in a table. We will calculate this also in a table, and we will assign it to two variables, and then we will have the intersect and count the rows of that intersect. So obviously we will get that. We can create a measure. So intersect count, we can give it as like that equals to, we can create a variable. We'll create a variable for last year equals to. So in this last year table, we need to get the customer names who were there in the last year. You don't need to take the count or anything. You just need to take the customer names only the customer names who were there in the last year. So only to get the customer names, you will be using the values of customer name, and we will be taking it in a table. So you can use calculate table, and it will be the first parameter is the table, and we will be using values of customer name, and then we need to filter. Filtering is just simple like what we have seen here. You can use a date add function, and you can create the calendar date and -1 and give it as in year as interval. So here we'll be generating a table last year ly with all the customer name in it who were there in the last. So next variable we are going to create is full years equals to, same thing, we need to get the customers between the minimum and the maximum calendar day. So we need to create the calendar table, same values, customer name, and this we will be filtering it with dates between calendar date, and you need to get the minimum of calendar date and maximum of calendar date. So here we are having two tables, LY and FY. First one is getting the customer name of last year, and FY is the customer name total year, full all the years. And here we can return, and in return we will give intersect and last year's and LY and FY. So this is how you will be getting the intersect, but you will be getting a table as return. But we don't need a table. We just need the count. So we can use count rows of this table. So we will move that to here. So when you move everything with respect to last year, the customers are six because six new customers came last year. They are common in both the years. Now, if you move here, the things will change. You can see last year count is 5, and the common count intersect of last year and total count will be also 5. And the remaining 6 came from another year. Same thing here. For last year it was 2. And the common between both the year, last year and the common year and the full years it is 2. So that is showing here because we have intersect 2. 2 is the minimum. Here the problem is last year nobody was there. That means nothing is there for inner join. So it is showing 0. So for Chile you can see the total count is 5, but the last year count is 1. So when you see the minimum or the inner join, it will be just 1. So that's what we have got 1. So you can use this example for different tables. Have a nice day.